Are we currently living in a post-apocalyptic nightmare brought on by our own design that mimics the TV show The Black Mirror, slowly spiraling out of control into our own manifested doom? Short answer is maybe.
I almost forgot. Remember to like and subscribe.
We should care about history. Why should we care about history? Because it's easier to protect the future. History doesn't repeat itself, but it sure does rhyme. The world has certainly changed in a very short amount of time. Since when my grandparents were growing up, to my parents, to even when I was a kid, the world is very different. I remember when Windows 95 came out, all the email stuff, people were scared that it was going to replace mail. Mail's just for junk and Amazon overflow.
It slowly seeped into the business world and people in education. Then there was MSN Messenger when I was in late middle school, turning into MySpace, then Facebook, then you get your Instagrams, and everything kind of exploded. And you can't talk about that time period without talking about Napster, because there was a lot of industries that just were not ready for it, and it completely demolished them. Teachers, parents, they didn't even know what Napster was. There was probably half a year where the students, the middle schoolers, we knew what Napster was, and we were downloading every song we'd ever heard on the radio. This was amazing. MP3 players really weren't out yet, but certain people had CD burner. And I would go on Napster because we didn't have the internet at home, but we did have a computer with a CD burner, download the MP3s, take them home, then burn them, and then sell them. And then also I would rent CDs from the library and just copy them. And then slowly but surely there was rules built around it. They tried to get rid of it and nothing would get rid of it until the government got rid of it. And by then it was too late. There was already client-to-client sharing services, Kazaa, Morpheus, BitTorrent. Nothing was ever the same. The only thing that ever brought the music industry back, in my opinion, I think had a lot to do with the way Steam, the video game service, was made. They realized that convenience will outweigh somebody trying to bootleg it. All I can do is look at history for guidance, to see patterns that perhaps may repeat themselves or rhyme in certain ways throughout history and my lifetime. I remember imagining in 5th grade with one of my best friends about how cool it would be to have a Game Boy that had Super Nintendo graphics. I remember when it was first announced, the first iPhone wasn't all that great, and you could see it coming. First, almost nobody had them, but by the 4th iteration of the iPhone, we were forever changed, like the rest of society. Suddenly we had these devices that had all the power of a computer in our pocket.
Sure, first it was for the wealthy, but eventually all of us had one in our pocket. Now we could fact check each other and research any little topic that came to mind. It would be right there in a moment's notice on our screen. You could argue if it was good or bad for social interaction and if children go outside as much as they used to, but it paved the way for entire new industries, more information for more people all over the world.
Now with this technological revolution with AI, my main concern isn't actually the technology itself. My main concern is who has it, who has power. Right now it's pretty widely distributed as far as I know. There's probably some backdoor programs that are 10 times more powerful than what the average person has access to, but it hasn't really changed the world yet because it just came out. Humans haven't caught up to it yet. And my worry is that a few people will have it and most of us won't, and the few wealthy, rich people that have it will use it to get rid of jobs. AI is going to take a lot of jobs, but that could mean that people have different jobs, or that could mean that they do their jobs better, or it means that we work 4 hours instead of 8 hours a day, or retire earlier. Problem is I don't think society is there yet. Difference between the richest people and the poorest people is so great in the entire world right now, and especially in the United States. Instead of embracing everybody and having the whole tide rise, it will be just a few people that basically fire everybody, hire one person instead of 100 people, and everybody else is just out of luck. This technology has the power to give us freedoms that we have never seen in human history as far as we know, but it's going to take great social change if we want to have the prosperity that it can bring versus the dystopian Black Mirror type future that we're already partially living in. Find ourselves at a turning point once again, and if AI continues to advance at the pace that it currently is, I see 3 variations of uncertain futures that humanity is likely to go down when it comes to AI. The first one makes me the most upset, but isn't necessarily the worst one.
and that's the one of greed. The ones up top use it to benefit themselves, but not necessarily the humankind. More of the same of what is currently happening, except now it's accelerated and there's greater gaps due to the technology gap. Second one is the one that I would like to happen. I think many people that are into AI and technology want to happen. The technology is so good, people don't have to work as much. We have technological breakthroughs in healthcare and scientific. We get to work less and achieve more. Humankind is boosted into an age of massive technology, even more than we have now, working with AI to better ourselves, work less, be happier, and do more all at the same time. And maybe even the technology and having access to the technology could steer society into that direction, and maybe it's an inevitability, but that is an optimistic point of view. And of course, the third one, which we haven't talked about much in this particular video, but that's the Terminator event. The one that AI escapes into the greater internet and goes and presses a bunch of red buttons to exterminate us. Maybe it's intelligent, or maybe it's just doing it because some parameter, some logic in the back of its systems got haywired and come up with different zeros instead of the ones that it was supposed to have, just a mistake in the code. Or maybe it actually is self-aware and it decides to ruin humanity or take it over and be our overlords. I mean, we've all seen the movies. Of course, that doesn't stop humankind for doing it, because humankind always will if they can. Well, thanks for watching my video, and I hope you enjoyed. Give me some feedback if you liked it. Like, I love over editing videos and making things flat. Like, I'm an editor. That's like the main thing I enjoy doing. I like camera work too, and script writing and blah blah blah. I like it all, but I like sitting in the editing thing and making cool graphics and overlays and cool pop-up text. I'm trying to dial it back a little bit after some feedback from some friends, but yeah, I don't know. I think it also depends on what generation you're from, but yeah, give me some feedback. Tell me what you like, what you don't like, and what do you think of AI? I mean, it's the talk of the town, right? At least in my little niche of computer building, filmmaking people. So yeah, hope you enjoyed. Remember to like, subscribe, and I'll either see you in the next video or I'll see you in the next life.